20 whole dollars. I won the bet. Sorry, I probably shouldn't start a video while I'm still in the middle of something else. Yeah, it's live. I got to show you something, people. All right. I've been doing this a long time. I've had some amazing calls in my life, obviously, right? And I've had some treacherous, awful, more awful than good. And again, I think you know that. I don't know if I was talking about earlier on the video. So far, 2024 is going all right, except for two massive losses. And my two biggest trades of 2024 have been losses. I'm not going to deny it. And both of them have been shorter than Qs. I've made some of that money back right now, right? I made money back on this trade. And the reason I had to milk this trade is because I need to make my money back, right? But I wasn't going to be foolish this time. I put a bigger, a wider stop, but I had a very specific target. And I came on earlier to express what I was doing. I was long the Donald Trump stock because if you're going to be sitting here blinded by hate and rage and fury and disbelief, and just because you hate the guy, and nobody can hate Donald Trump. Yeah, there are people that hate him more than I do, but I hate him for personal reasons, not political reasons. Love walls. I love walls. I love guns. I'm talking about me personally. I love walls. First thing I liked about him when he started talking about walls, I'm like, yeah, build a fucking wall around this whole country like the Great Wall of China. I'm in it. I'm into it. Anyway. But if you're going to allow the hate, good, let the hate run through you. If you're going to allow that to influence trading, you're a loser. And you'll always be a loser. Because right there, you're doing exactly the opposite of what you should be doing. You're allowing yourself to live in denial of what's blatantly apparent. And I don't care what you think about the future of the stock, the scamminess of it all, the offering that he did, the obvious worthlessness of the stock. Since when does that matter? 9 out of 10 stocks are completely, utterly worthless, and they rip all the time. Dip, rip, roll, short, long. It's just another IPO. Put aside your hatred for the guy, because that's letting your emotion dictate what you do with your money, and you will never make it as a trader. I came in today, and the first thing I started talking about, because when I open my computer, I look at my Twitter feed. By the way, it'll always be called Twitter. Fuck calling it X. I will never call it X. Never will call it X. It's never going to be X. It's always Twitter. I go to my Twitter feed, my stock Twitch feed, and some of my message boards. And all they are is flooded with Donald Trump. And I was sick of it today. I'm fucking sick of this guy, seeing his dumb face. I'm sick of Biden too. I'm sick of all these people. I've got no love for politicians, no love for politics. But my hatred for Donald Trump runs deeper. I think he's a bad person. And you can't convince me he's not. He's an awful human being. I'm rooting for his demise. And as much as I still, if you made me choose right now, it's very hard. Because I don't want to vote for Biden, but I hate Trump, and I don't think he deserves to be our president. Because he's a bad person. He's a bad human. Not only is he a bad person, bad human, he's the kind of person I hate the most. Know-it-alls, douchebags. Like if you're at a party and everyone's having a good time and in walks that guy. Oh, not this fucking blabbermouth, know-it-all scumbag. You know what? I'm going to go. Oh, really? You're gonna let this guy ruin your good time? Yeah, because he's gonna say some dumb shit, and I'm gonna want to argue with him, but he's gonna be a know-it-all blabbermouth and just try to talk over me with a bunch of bullshit. And you know what? I'm just gonna go. That's what he is to me. He's a people who are know-it-alls, and especially in this industry. That's why I hate this industry. Everyone's a genius in a bull market. You never hear about when they're doing things wrong. And he's the kind of guy that says, "Oh, doing things wrong. I've never done anything wrong." That's like when I came, I went to the proctologist, right? Funny thing is, he says, "Do you mind if I use a glove?" I was like, "What? Oh, that's a joke." So I got done with the proctologist, right? And I didn't come home and tell my wife, "You know what? I just had a finger in my ass. I'm thinking I could probably be a proctologist. I know everything about it. Yeah, got a finger in the ass this afternoon. I think I'm gonna just change careers. I'm gonna be a proctologist." That's Donald Trump. I was just in the hospital and everybody's got COVID. I'm an expert. No, you're a fucking idiot. And, that's why the hypocrisy of it all, as dumb and frail and confused that Biden is, there's an equal amount of things where this blabbering fucking moron can't even read the teleprompter and then he goes off on his own. He just says some dumb shit. Oh, that's just Trump being Trump. What the fuck are you talking about? It's the same exact thing. They're two fucking senile morons. Anyway, let's go back to trading. If you're going to let the hatred of somebody or anything influence you to the point where you're saying, you know what? I think I can make some real good money on this trade, this idea, this moment right here. But I'm going to let my hatred for this asshole. Are you kidding me? That should be more of a reason to get involved because you're saying to yourself, as much as I hate this guy, I really do like a VWAP reversal. I hear these trades work out pretty damn well. Maybe I should be taking this trade, especially because the stock had fallen from 80 bucks. It broke the 25 and then it broke the 23 right here. You had some support basically between 24.50 and the 22.50. Let's just fast forward today. Any stock that falls this much that quickly usually has a counter trend trade. And again, as the former perma bear president, I'm only the acting secretary now. As the former bearish president, right? I'm still holding some SQQ, but I'll get to that. I covered most of it on this is all getting to the best trade I've ever done. I don't think I've ever nailed a trade as much as I just nailed the QQQ short in my life just now. But let's talk about this trade first. Any stock that rallies, just like Carvana, stock went from 60 to 400 down to $5. That's why I said this could be one of the best buying opportunities ever because, if Carvana could just get some momentum, that momentum will take it to at least 37 bucks. And if that can hold, you'll get to the 56, bang, bang. And if it breaks to 56, you probably go to 96. Sorry, we got to 94. And now that trade's over. I could care less about Carvana. But I know how the market works, and I know the intricacies of shorting because I'm a shorter. And I've been punished by overstaying my welcome. Fast forward to this morning. I'm ripping. People are telling me, dude, you got to shut up. Enough about Trump. I just couldn't stop. But that all led me, right, to this moment. I was like, the message boards are still talking about shorting the stock. It just went from 80 to 22.50. I don't care how much you hate the guy or how much you think the stock's going to zero. There will be a bounce. Today's probably the day because you got 95% sentiment bearish. The only psychos that are holding on to this are the cult members, right? He's doing offerings. Everything was super bearish, but the sentiment went super bearish. And I said, hey, it just held 22.50. If some buying comes into the stock, I think I'm buying this thing. I didn't say to myself, oh man, I don't want to buy this stock. Now, Chinese stocks, I do say that. I will never trade Chinese stocks on the long side because I root for them to go to zero. They shouldn't be allowed to trade. I don't care about Chinese stocks. I don't trade them. My boycott is I just don't trade them. I put my hatred aside of Donald Trump because opportunity, think of this as an earnings stock. You want a stock that's in play. That's when VWAP works its best. But you want a stock that everyone's thinking it's still a good short after a 60-point haircut. You got to be looking for a 3 or 4 point bounce today. That's what I was looking at. And again, this is why VWAP is the Lord and Savior of trading. You're in, you're out. We just made money buying. And then it popped a little bit more before the open. I was going over this with you earlier. Rolls over, breaks back over the VWAP, holds the prior support. Do it again. 23.38. 23.38 gets you 24, 25. Got up to 25.50. We was selling into this move and then getting stopped out on the way back down. Then what does it do? It holds prior day VWAP back above the VWAP. Do it again. Buy it again. And this time you got to where we thought we were going to go, 27.50. Out of this thing now, because again, 27.50 was my target. Now it's overshot it. Whatever. Phenomenal trade. But that ain't nothing compared to what I did for you this morning. Go back and watch the video when I was telling you, don't fucking cover, don't cover, don't cover, don't cover, don't cover. And I showed you where my stops were, right? So we're looking at the 3-month VWAP was what I was waiting for to see on the breakdown, right? We got the 3-month VWAP break finally. The consolidation finally led to a breakdown. That's my overall stop on the rest of what I got left. I'm letting the rest. But today's specific move was a follow through. And our target was 424.94. Go watch the video I gave you earlier. Now, why did I say 424.94? I was like, now that we broke the 3-month, I want to take all of these days and throw it on the chart. And I want to show you where we're going to go. And it's, you want to look at, you want to take all the days and you want to go 90 days out. I ain't making this shit up, people. Now, while it was happening, I was sitting there going, holy shit. Is this really going to happen? The first premise was the futures. Hey, why do they call it futures? Because they tell the future, you dummy. Oh. The futures were freaking tanking last night. Right? Futures were tanking. And then we had this miracle comeback. The miracle comeback hit the resistance. I'm being infiltrated by the Matrix. What the hell's going on? The futures were telling you that there was a level that needed to be tested from yesterday. This was a 4-month low. Wow, it really is the Matrix, man. It's like my backup power supply is freaking out. All right, so anyway, like I continue to tell you, shorting is always short-lived. Inevitably, you're going to have to cover because the market inevitably bounces, right? So let's have some targets to the downside. Once we broke the pre-market lows. Sorry, not even pre-market, but the 2 a.m. low. There was nowhere else to go. The market's built on math. So the next area was that 90-day area that was going to provide any type of support. People, I've never, ever had a trade that worked out this perfectly on a $429, whatever, probably $430 vehicle to nail it by 4 freaking cents. I'd like to believe, and I'd like to portray this as me. This is what I'm trying to tell you, what I've been trying to tell you for decades now. Accept that you don't know what you're doing. You don't. You don't even know what you're thinking right now, do you? Are we going up or down? Who the fuck knows? Is there a world war breaking out? Nobody cares. Nobody cares until they do care. Are we going up into the close or down into the close? It doesn't matter. That trade right there is a example of why you just wait. Let the one trade. There was no other trade to do. No scalping longs, none of this. And by the way, look where UAL is. Remember when I said, hey, one of the best parts about VWAP is it tells you that you're wrong. How wrong have you been if you are still short UAL? I mean, I took a shot here and a shot here. I lost 200 and something dollars. Now it would be a $4,000 hit. You got to accept that there will be losses, but you also have to accept that you don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows where we're going. And if you just stay nimble and accept that the market is controlled by math, and the number one mathematical formula that works in an institutional level is volume weighted average price. If I can't prove it to you, if I haven't proved it to you over the last 11 years, come on. I started making the video this morning. I told you where my target was. It went right there. And then we bounced almost 3 points. 30 years later, I think the idea that I'm this excited is amazing to me personally. It's a day like this that I know now, if I was ever convinced, I'm never going to stop doing this. This is the most fascinating thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And stop churning your accounts, stop over trading. Once you have the VWAP and you have the why you're getting in, where it's probably going to go, and all that shit in between is where people lose money. And I'll tell you this one more time. I still think we're going lower, but you gotta be done with 70% of this trade now. You won. We won. We won the money. I won the money. You got to take it. Now, in the next couple of days, maybe we do hold this rally off those lows. When we break the 424.94, look at this. Kenny, are you saying that we're going to 402? Maybe. But I want to show you in between. Here's the 1-year chart, right? You see the levels from over here? See that double top that we broke out from? Significant area. Once momentum starts in the other direction, let's call this the first real down move, because we finally broke down and we followed through. So now where do we go to? We go to those last levels. So this is the next level. It's not that far away. So once we break here, which is the 421.63, we're going to be flirting with here. And if we get through here, I don't think there's any chance that we don't get down back to that major breakout area from the beginning of the year. So as much as a big portion of what we were short has now been done, no, I didn't go. I only went a third as big this time because I was a little scarred. But here we are. And I legitimately one of the best calls I've made ever to the penny. Sick. Between the Donald Trump stock and this QQQ short today, whoo. And again, factor in the UAL 2 losses. It just, to my friend who wants to be a consistent trader, accepting you're wrong on the UAL short, accepting you're wrong helps you be persistent and consistent. Learning from your mistakes and just accepting VWAP as the only thing that matters and price, and you will then be a consistent trader. Meanwhile, I've been talking since 8 o'clock this morning. I'm dying. This was something. And my friends, even though I think the market's still going lower, I still consistently keep shorting UVXY because there's never been a trade on the face of the planet that no matter what's going on, inevitably the stock goes down. So in the face of fear, I'm shorting more. I got no fear. If this thing's at $80, I'm not even going to flinch. I'll short more. I sold $80 calls for 2 weeks out for $1 today. Crazy. Even though I think the market's going down, and I do think UVXY is going to go back up, but I'm staying short because inevitably I'm going to make all that money. So earnings reversals, QQQ, UVXY, Donald Trump, UAL. If today was your first day in my chat room, you would have been flabbergasted. You would have said, damn, I guess this dude actually does know what he's talking about. Maybe that today would have been the day. And that's why when I do these YouTube videos, I'm glad I could show some charts now and talk over the charts and whatnot. Become a member of the room. It's one low fee. You get me for the entire year and my pal Solid. Sometimes my illegitimate son shows up, but he's kind of retired now, I guess. Yeah. I hope he cashed out on more of it. He promised he would cash out at 180 on AMD. It's pretty amazing. It's just that. And I forgot all the realtor brothers were on. They were talking about real estate this morning, and they were talking about all the people that get rich quick schemes and the flipping houses and all that stuff. 98% of people that talk about making money in anything are bullshitters, right? In any industry. And that's why I consistently do it the right way. You don't have to believe me. You shouldn't. Right? All this could be just a made-up story. But if you're in my chat room and I say, hey, we're shorting the Qs right here at 432.50 with a target of 424.94, and it goes there. Today would have been the last day you ever doubted anything. You would be now a devout follower and you'd be plopping the cash down because you probably just paid for your entire year on the first day you were here. And that's how I run it. I don't want anybody's money until I know that you're going to benefit from what I'm doing. If you just want to hang out in a chat room and hear me tell stupid stories about not having sex with my wife and you want to pay $5,000 for that, sure, I'll take your money. But I'd rather you be appreciative of what I'm bestowing upon you so you can make money. So after 2 or 3 weeks of hanging with me, I'm glad you dig my stories, but I don't think you want to pay me to tell you a story about my wife or my kids or my car or whatever the fuck I'm talking about in between trades. You want to make money. Give me 2 to 3 weeks of your time, hang out with my crew, see if it's good. Nobody does their business like me. I won't send you emails. I never send emails personally. Nothing's automated. Show up, learn how to make money with us. And, if there's somewhere you want to be. And what's very, very interesting in my life right now is that I finally am going to have the ability to get to you when you're not at the desk. Most of what we do, you want to be at the desk. Today was one of the days where you could have left. But I'm going to have an app soon that's going to update you consistently throughout the day in what I'm doing, what I'm positioning with, what I'm getting out of. And you'll get alerts to everything with a small little vignette video right out of the chat room to express what we're doing. And as much as I can help you, and again, let's just round it off. Let's say you're paying $5,000 for the year. What? $5,000 for the year? If $5,000 for a year of my time is a lot, you're probably not a trader. But even if you're an investor or whatever, $5,000 of my time, $5,000 for a year of my time, somewhere you're going to get at least $5,000 worth of information, whether or not you're putting it to good use. That's why I like to see when I'm in the room, I'm always saying, hey, who's in this? Who's in that? Is what we're doing. Make sure you're in this. And it was funny because people were like, are you really talking about buying DJT? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter that I hate the guy. The stock is ripe for a 4 or 5 point move today. It just is. It fell from 80 to 22.50. You don't think it could bounce to 27.50 today? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Listen, if this is the first time you've ever seen me on YouTube. Hi, my name's Kenny Glick. I've been trading since inception, basically since the 90s. I know a little bit more than most people in this industry. I'm still doing it after all this time. I love helping. Come to the chat room. Come check us out. Come meet my family. And maybe you'll stay for the next couple of years. That's what I hope happens. All right. I'll see you soon. Good luck and stay liquid right now. And right now it's, I can't believe I'm even saying this. I might go long something because, we hit a major point, a major short covering spot for me. All right. Rock and roll. To clarify what I'm saying is I'm not covering the big short unless we go 430. And I'll show you right now. It's adjusted. So I'm using the 3 month as my out on the whole thing. I've covered a majority of it because it got to where I wanted it to go. I still got some. I still think we're going to go lower, but I'm using the 3 month as my out. And right now, 433.84. I'm sticking around. I'm not getting out right now. I've got out of a majority because it got to where I wanted it to go. And tomorrow, if we break today's lows, I probably reload with some gusto, with some weeklies or dailies. But right now, we are sitting pretty. And this is what is very unique, while we were heavily short, we also were shorting UVXY, which is counterproductive because UVXY is ripping. But if you do know about UVXY, you know that as soon as the market shows any signs of strength, UVXY collapses. And we got a couple of thousand shares short now from cost average of around, our cost average right now is about $40.19. Fucking killing it. Killing it. And at one point we were, $2,000 in the hole in this trade. But if you're unaware, even if this would have went to the point where I'm down 40 grand on it, I have enough money where I could add to the beast. Let me just remind you one more time. Here's a 3-year chart of UVXY. There's the COVID crash. Wait, where's the COVID crash? Where's the COVID crash? COVID crash is over here. China contagion, corrections. Oh my God, the market's rolling over. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Next catastrophe was here. And here's the, again, this is not a split. This is a split adjusted chart. But bottom line, Even if UVXY were to go to 80 or 90 or 120, 6 months from now or a year from now, it'll be $3. I know it. You know it. It's guaranteed. So that's why while the market was getting slammed, I was still shorting UVXY because inevitably it goes down. Rock and roll, kids. Rock and roll. I'll see you soon.